Oftentimes on YouTube, um, you can read through the comments and you can find certain comments. One question that I get a lot of is, "Hey Jay, well, you said that this was not worth this, or you said this." And I understand that being in the public eye, which is basically on YouTube, you're in the public eye, so you're going to be subject to certain things. But this video is to talk about what I think worth really is. So a while back, I said that the Note 7 was not worth. Well, initially I said it was worth $120. That was with only having a little bit of hands-on time. I'm not perfect. After actually having it for a little bit longer, I realized that now, even taking away the flaws that I thought it had, I realized that I didn't think it was worth it. And I got a lot of phones here, and I'll bring some of them out. And a lot of people, I can't bring them all out, but a lot of people always ask YouTubers what's worth something. And the only thing I can tell you is that you have to put your limit on what you think is worth something. I got to take this case off. I haven't done the video yet for you guys, so it's coming up. I got a couple of cases coming for this phone right here, and I didn't want to reveal those cases yet. You'll see that video sometime next week, probably, or by the weekend. I don't know. But this is a discussion, I like doing these discussions, and I would do them live, but people ask questions, and I can't do a whole bunch of live videos. I just don't have time. But today I just happen to have some free time, and I want to do this live video before we go out to dinner and before we do things. But people often ask me, Jay, do you think this is worth it? So the current question is, why do you think the iPhone 7 is worth it and the Note 7 is not worth it? Well, let's be clear on something here. I never said the iPhone 7 was worth $1,100 because that's what it's going to be with me for taxes. If you watch my other video, I clearly say that it's overpriced. It is overpriced. The Note 7 is overpriced. And the reason that all these devices are overpriced, and it's not about, I would love to have a round table. If you guys know what that is, if you don't, Google it. I would love to have a round table with some of the people who attack first, or who really don't make valid points. They just like to pick you apart and call out what they see as flaws or try to make you contradict yourself. Well, I did go on record and say, hey, the Note 7 was worth it. But that was before you guys even had it. So the people that say, oh, Jay ain't got that device, or he never had it, I've always told you guys I'm going to be transparent about stuff. I'm always keep it real. Eventually, you'll see things on my channel. And a lot of times I don't tell you that I've already had it because I'm not a big YouTuber for device reviews. You may say that I am because I'm purchasing a lot of phones, but worth is something that's placed on, a person will place that on a product or an item or something like that. Let me turn off notifications. And they'll say, well, this is so worth it. We've all done it. This is so worth it, And a great example now, the question is, do you think the iPhone 7 is worth the $1,000? And, or, someone kind of said, they didn't imply that, but they were basically saying, hey, you said the Note 7 wasn't worth it, so what makes the iPhone 7 worth it? Well, I never said the iPhone 7 was worth $1,000. So I did go on record and say that I think the Note 7 was worth it. But then after some extended use, I decided, you know what, this just isn't worth it. But I think when you're in the public eye, people love to criticize, but they don't want to give feedback. They love to call out a lot of things that you do wrong, but they don't want to say, hey, I appreciate that 4-minute video that probably took you an hour to make. And I'm not looking for anybody to do that. People do in the comments, people say, Jay, good job. I appreciate it. I had a guy come to the video. Well, not one, but several. Happens all the time. He says, when people criticize you, you always call them a hater. Not the case. That's just not the case. The people who I boot are the people who act like a little kid. Act like little 5-year-olds. Name calling, or insulting. And I'm supposed to let you say whatever to me because you think I need your view of the video. You think I'm begging you to click on the video. That's what YouTube is about. People come to videos and they say, this is just a little side note real fast. People come to videos, say whatever they want to say. And then when you respond as the owner of the channel, you're a jerk, I'm going to unsubscribe to you, And think about how imbalanced that is. That's definitely, you can say all these things that you want to say. And even if you're not cursing or calling names, you can still just be extremely rude. And then I'm just supposed to say, okay, YouTubers who run channels, who run real channels, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. You can't come to my channel, insult me, and think I'm supposed to leave that comment, and then you just get to walk away and I don't get to respond. That is not how it works. Another thing is, I posted on Google+. Please stop posting your links to your videos in my video. That is so rude. I do not go to other people's channels and promote my channel. Work hard like the next person, and then you'll find your way. Period. Now, worth. Some people always say, well, Jay, is this worth this? Or, Jay, is this worth this? Listen, I can't tell you what you think is worth it. This device right here, this 256 gig iPad Pro 9.7, is very expensive. But you know what? I bought it. It's paid for. I think it's worth it. Why? Because it helps me in an area of my life that I need. Not just YouTube, but a whole bunch of other things. This thing comes in handy so much, I'm getting my money's worth. That's when you hear me say, yeah, this is definitely worth it. Here's another example. I used to be a PC user my entire life. When I went to college, we had classes like, I don't know if they still teach them now, but the curriculum might be different. But when I went to college, there was a class solely on DOS. If you don't know what DOS is, Google it. You got Google now to save you for everything. Search is your friend also. If you don't know, those were the classes. We took long classes on that. In some corporations, when I was an executive, we had what's called green screens, right? Some places still use that. A lot of insurance companies still use it. Why? Because it doesn't fail you. You don't need a GUI, a graphical user interface. You don't need that to run a business. But most businesses do that because it's easier on the person running the business, or it's easier on the consumer. Now, I used to be a PC owner and user for all the way up until recent years. Check my channel. You'll see when I converted over to Mac. And when I say converted, it's not that I don't use a PC, because it's back there. I need a PC for a lot of stuff. There is a lot of things that Macs don't do for me. But I'm recording this on a MacBook Pro Retina. I do a lot of editing on this MacBook Pro Retina. A lot of my live streams are done on this MacBook Pro Retina. They're not done on that PC back there. So when a person asks me is something worth something, I say, yeah, this iPad Pro is worth it. And another thing, the reason this MacBook Pro Retina, I don't know if it was $1,700, I don't know what it costs, but you can't, I guess you can finance these, but I didn't put this on my credit card. This is cashed out. Get rid of the bill. Don't create a bill. And when you get older, you'll learn how to handle your credit cards and, but worth. The reason I spent so much money on two of these, not one, because we have our office area, there's two big desks that are set up. That's the business side over there, and over here is the YouTube side. So the reason I think this MacBook Pro is worth it for all the money that I spent is because it has not failed me yet. I can do whatever I want to do. There's tons of reasons why I need this MacBook Pro more than I need that PC. Now, if you don't know, you've heard me say I'm in the market for a Windows laptop, a really good one, the same size as this. I know it's going to be more lightweight, and I know that it'll have probably more memory, and I know that it'll just be specced out a little bit more. However, I also know that I'll probably have to upgrade that laptop or toss it within 5 years. From experience, I've been a Windows user all the way up until recent times, like in the last 2 years or so. That Windows PC back there has been replaced, not the monitor. The PC itself that's down there has been replaced at least. I have to buy a new Windows PC because I have a big tower. And some people are going to say, why don't you build one? And yada, yada, yada. I could do that. I choose not to do that. I want to just buy, and mind you, I know how to do hardware. I learned that in school, in college, so I can do hardware. I can build a PC. I've built many of them before. I used to buy all of my parts from a company called Tiger Direct. Do your research if you don't know who they are. I used to do all of my builds from Tiger Direct, and I would buy all the parts. But after a while, you just kind of get to, I guess, you get a little older. You're just like, man, I don't feel like dealing with that. I don't care how much I like technology. At one point or another, I just say to myself, I'm going to take the easiest route possible and the most affordable, and I want to get the best I can out of what I'm spending it on. My current PC is not really expensive. It's spec'd out way better than this MacBook. Well, it's actually about the same as this MacBook, but I have a terabyte hard drive back there. Then I have an external terabyte, and it's got some great features on it. But that PC won't last very long as far as upgrades. I'm gonna have to do another upgrade, or I'm gonna have to do something to make that PC run better, or I'm gonna have to toss it and go buy a new one, at least within 5 years or so. Now, back in the day, I don't know if you really know laptops. Back in the day, it was recommended that you updated your laptop every 3 years. That's just what it was recommended, but you didn't have to. But laptops today, if I get a Windows PC, I need to at least get, like if I get a Windows laptop right now, in order for it to perform, now this is just me, there are going to be people come to this video and say, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. But if I want a laptop that's going to last like this MacBook, I'm going to have it spec'd higher than this MacBook in order for it to last. I know some people, that have the same MacBook, and it's the old one. They've had it for at least 8 years. They're like, man, that thing runs like a champ. Runs like new. Got the latest operating system on it. It's good. So do I think this laptop is worth it for what I spent? Oh, yeah. Definitely worth it. Because I know that my Windows PC will need to be replaced, or there's going to be something I need to do to that to get it to the point where it runs like this MacBook. Now, the reason I keep a PC is because like I said, there are so many things on Windows. Now, I'm not saying that Mac OS is the best OS and all that. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying as far as worth. That's what this whole video is about in conversation. Primarily, it's about worth. When people ask me, is something worth something? It's very difficult to answer that question. When I started putting out videos about this phone and I canceled my Note 7 order, all I got was backlash, because when I ended up getting the Note 7, I thought you wasn't going to get it. Yada, yada. Those are the trolls that come along, with the people that come along just to bring trouble. They don't want to hear you out. They want you say that the sky is blue, and they say, you say it's blue, you can never change your mind. That's the way the world works, man. People just feel like if you're in the public eye, I'm not going to pick out anything that you kind of do right or you helped me with. I'm just going to always focus on what you do wrong. And I think, again, my homeboy, MKBHD, he said it best a while ago. He said, we're now judging phones on what they do wrong and not what they do right. So fast forward to the iPhone event. Do I think it's worth $1,000? Of course not. I don't want to spend $1,000 if I don't have to. I'm blessed enough to be able to get discounts on pretty much everything. My Galaxy S7 Edge, I actually got a huge discount on that. I got it for $570. I was transparent about that. I talked about it on video. There's nothing to hide. If I got a good deal, you see me post on Google Plus all the time. Oh, I can get that for $40, or I can get that for $39. Unfortunately, I'm not going to share with you how I'm able to do that, but it's YouTube related. I've been transparent about a lot of stuff. It's YouTube related. I get huge discounts on certain things, and certain things I get free. Then I'm able to buy 2 of these, or I'm able to buy this phone right here, $450. But, at a discount though, However, when you ask a YouTuber, is something worth something? And I apologize if I offended someone in a comment when I said, try to get them both. I talked about that probably in another video. That's not to offend you. And because the person, I think somebody responded, with all due respect, I can't afford to get both. Or I just, I don't, that's not to say that you should get both. I said I would recommend that you get both if you can. Instead of buying one iPhone 7, go buy 2 iPhone 6S's if you can, if the price is right. If you can get them, just kind of work out your own deal. But worth, I named this phone the phone of the year. Some people say, you can't name a phone the phone of the year because we're not at the end of the year yet. A lot of people told me that. A lot of people commented on videos saying, Jay, how can you say that this phone is the phone of the year and we're not even at the end of the year yet? Well, I'm telling you, I review phones. I'm just telling you, I review phones and I review tablets, and I review pretty much a lot of electronics and stuff. And I also have discussions like this. To be honest, these are more fun than doing a phone video sometimes, because I want to hear what you have to say. If you can respond like an adult, it makes it for a great conversation. But I named this phone one of the best phone of the year. And, I stand firm on that to this point. Nothing has come along to knock this phone out of the box. The price, the specs that you're getting. See, some people don't know how to compare a phone. There's a lot of people that are absolutely brainwashed, especially when you got phones like this that are half the cost. And, that's not to be, if you get offended by that, then you're the person that's probably brainwashed. A person asking me, well, why did you buy that? Well, I review phones. I'm getting paid by YouTube from the money that I get to buy more stuff to keep my channel going. I could just back out and say, you know what, I'm not doing videos anymore. I'll just get this last paycheck or these last few paychecks and then I'm out. I'm just going to go back to being a regular old person in society and not have fun with the things that I love to do. Not a regular, not in a bad way, but I'm just not going to mess with technology. Now, I'm done. I quit. But when you like something and it's fun, it doesn't seem like work. Like I'll start talking about the Bible and people who want to know about God. That's exciting to me because it doesn't seem like work. Someone could call me and say, hey, I need to talk to somebody. I need your help. Please help me. Just listen to me. Or what would you do? Well, let's get the Bible out and let's talk about it. And I can tell you what God says you should do. Forget about what I think. What does God want you to do? Let's find it in the Bible. Those things are exciting. You get fired up. If you believe in God and you believe in God's word, you get excited about that, man, because you want to tell somebody how good and how good he is and the things he's done for you in your life. Now, switch to technology. Same thing. I get pumped. I was talking to my sister. Now, she doesn't like technology kind of like I do at all. My brother doesn't. Nobody in my family really likes it like that. But what they do get excited about, Sister Harris at House of Prayer Ministry, she gets excited about the Word. The Word of God gets her pumped like I get pumped about technology and the Word of God. But when dealing with technology, you ask a person who does YouTube videos, is it worth it? Some YouTubers will always jump out and give their word and never change their mind because they're afraid to look like, oh, okay, well, you changed your mind. They're afraid to get some of that backlash because they're too worried about their channel making it. I'm not worried about my channel failing or making it. I've had people tell me when that little thing happened with the Samsung Nights, that person, Deidre or whatever her name was, said I was a failure and my channel won't be successful. That's okay, man. That's all right. I still don't have any hate towards that situation, man, or those people because I respect them as adults first and then technology second. But when you make statements like that, if you say you're following God, the same God I follow, you know that that's going to circle back around to you, not me. I'm going to respond and attack them online at all. You want to talk like an adult? We can talk like adults. But if you want to throw name calling and bashing and stuff like that back and forth online, I don't have no parts of it. And so you start talking about worth. Some people, when they're in the public eye, they don't want to change their mind at all. They would rather stick with an answer, even if it's just going to bring them some more money or make them look a certain way, than to go back like I did before. I had a guy, I made an HTC 10 video and I said it was not good. That was my experience at the time. So many people trashed me for that video. I said, well, you know what? They're saying ugly stuff, but maybe I do need to go revisit it. I revisit the video. Somebody sends me a comment about someone making a comment about me saying, you're doing it again, you're doing it wrong. That's all childish. I'm not afraid to man up. Even if we're not live right now, YouTube is cool, but it's not that important. And so the people that say, you're going to be a failure and all that stuff, I'm not. Man, I respond if I want to respond. And I don't if I don't. So if you think I'm going to be a failure or you think I'm a failure, sorry, you feel that way. But you can't ask me about something being worth something. And then when I tell you what I think, you hold it there. Then you want to ask me a month later, and if I change my mind, no, Jay, you said, just to do that. And you know what? That's going to happen. Right now, as I said the Note 7 was worth it about 3 months ago or whatever, or 2 months ago. Then when I got some extended use with it, because I do beta testing, I felt like I said, no, even taking away the bad rap that they got right now with the battery, I still rated that phone really high, and I still think it's a great phone, but it's not worth the money. The reason being is because we as consumers have to wake up. We should not allow the market to be the way it is. That's why I have these phones that are $300 and $400 here. Every phone on here, this table right now that I've got sitting out here is under $500. And if I've said it to people offline, man, if I could just run my channel for under $500, that'd be fantastic. But that's not happening right now because I wanted the Note 7, but I just couldn't do it. Once I saw this phone, I was like, man, I got to get this. And this phone right here is fantastic. If you have this phone, if you have this phone, if you have this phone, you've got some fantastic phones under $500, especially this one. If you don't have this phone, don't get online saying, oh, that trash. How can that phone keep up with the Note 7? I did a benchmark test, I think, with this phone against several other phones, and it held its own. Yeah, the phones beat this phone. Those phones beat this phone by a little bit. But this phone doesn't cost not even a smidgen of what all those other phones cost. So that's why this phone can be ranked in my book as one of the best phones, if not the best phone in 2016. If you're still looking at specs and all that, you're trying to say, oh, it's not worth it. Listen, if you're not a YouTuber like this, like if you don't put out YouTube videos regularly, don't go to the channels of people who do it and tell them they're wrong for telling you their opinion on something. I had a guy earlier telling me, not going to say his name because it happens so regularly, telling me that basically I don't know what I was talking about. And, I said the iPhone 7 is smashed on the Note 7. Now, if there was just one person in particular, he responded with a really long comment saying how, he doesn't think that the Note 7 was smashed by the iPhone 7. And I said, hey, that's how I feel. If you think you have he has the Note 7, and I think that's where we get into this brand loyalty. People start to be so loyal to these OEMs that they don't want to venture out and take a chance. People laugh at me all the time for this phone. This phone is a great phone. I gave my recent review on it. I think it got like an 8 or 8.5 or something like that. Fantastic phone. People still laugh at me for liking this phone, but I don't care, man. I don't care. I like all these phones. I'm saving money. People start to say, if you can't afford it, those are just real subtle insults if you didn't know. But, hey, all I can say is get out of the mirror when you're talking. Because a lot of people probably do that. They're typing on the internet, but they're looking in the mirror. By telling another person, oh, you can't afford it, listen, no, I'm an adult and I'm smart with what I'm doing with my funds, like mortgage, credit cards paid, 0 interest rate. Some people probably don't even have a credit card with 0 interest rate. If you don't, now I'm talking about the people who always want to jump out and insult people, not you watching the video and, you're just kind of following along because you like my channel or you just happen to stumble across this video. If you just happen to stumble across this video, don't judge me about this one video. Go back and watch all the other videos that I've done that I've put in work. You'll find something that you like. But those people who insult first, and when you say something is worth it, or you try to get your point across and say that I think this is worth it, this is really good. Now the iPhone 7 will be here next week. I told you I'm getting it. The mix-up on the colors, yeah, I made a mistake on the colors, man. I was saying jet black, and I meant matte black, the flat black one. It's just called black. So many people corrected me on that. But, you know what I meant, but you still comment to tell me I was wrong. Not the people on Google+. Shout out to my brother on Google+, who I was talking to. Not him. Let me give him a shout out, because he has some problems with the Note 7. And, he went on Google+, and he did it the right way. He made his own video about it, and I respect him for that. He made his own review about it, but he did it on Google+, and not my video. People write these extended reviews on my videos. Can't think of his name. I was just talking to him. And I like to shout out certain people, man. Respect to him, because I don't want people to think, Jay, what is his name, man? I got him on here. Alpha Rakama. Respect to that brother, because I talked to him on Google+. He gave a full review on Google+ of what was going down with his Note 7. Respect to him, But when you start to ask YouTubers, and this is just a discussion video. It's not a rant or anything. It's just a discussion video about certain topics that are happening right now. But the main thing is worth. People always ask me if something is worth something. And I think certain people do that just to try to get you to contradict what you're saying, or they think you're going to change your mind later. I'm not afraid to change my mind, man. This is just a video discussion, something to talk about. I'm not afraid to change my mind, and I don't care if I make a mistake on video. I mean, all the people that come to the videos just to nitpick through, start commenting, saying, "Oh, you got that wrong." All right, man, I'm human, dude. I got it wrong. I got it wrong. I got it wrong. I'm going to address a little side note. Some people always say, well, people will ask questions on the videos that have nothing to do with the video. Why does it sound like this is so stupid, but I'll address it. Why do you always do this? Or why does it sound like it's something in your mouth all the time? Or could you stop smacking? Listen, you've heard me say it. I've had a lot of surgeries. I've actually had surgery right in here. And so it makes me have saliva a lot. And so I have to keep doing this. And it was on this side of my face years ago when I was younger. But you guys don't care about that. Focus on the video, man. People say certain things to oh, it's a distraction. Oh, there's that's child. I gave you your answer. If it sounds like I always have something in my mouth, or I'm salivating a lot, or I'm doing this a lot. I had surgery here a long time ago when I was 18, I think it was. It was a long time ago. And they took out, they fixed my jaw on the inside. So it makes me salivate a little bit more. I get a lot of saliva. So I frequently do that. Why should I have to explain myself for that? Focus on the freaking phone, man. Focus on this. Some people say, oh, you always repeat yourself all the time. Man, you don't like the channel, man. Change it. Click, click. But if you ask me if I think something is worth something, I'm trying to stay on topic. If you ask me if I think something is worth something, and I tell you, well, yeah, it's worth it. I've been open and said that all these phones that I currently have on the table are worth it because they're well under the price of some of the iPhones and Notes. Now, the iPhone didn't get a screen upgrade. I talked about that in the video. I can't say whether the iPhone 7 is worth $1,000 without having it. Yeah, I can. No phone is worth $1,000, man. I'm tired of justifying for OEMs if something is, let's not push this. I'm not pushing nobody to buy a phone that's $1,000. Go buy this phone for $40 if you can. You'll be extremely impressed. But stop measuring it against what you see online as far as specs go without using it. The fact is, let's be real here for a second. What makes the iPhone worth something is the performance, and it doesn't fail me in my experiences hardly at all. Unlike Android, if I don't have a Nexus phone or like the OnePlus 3, and the Axon 7 just happened to be a really good phone. Do I like the software a whole bunch? I keep it on that stock look. The Huawei phones, I don't like that overlay, so I change it to something else. But, iPhones hold good value. Let's be real here. They hold good value. You can take an iPhone. I could sell one of our iPhone 6s Pluses right now, 128 gigs, and still make about $600. Easy. Some people have them posted for $750. Gonna hold the value. Android phones do not hold value like that. Stop lying to yourself. Why it doesn't hold value like that, I don't know. People don't want to rebuy them. I don't know. But we all know, and we all can agree, that you could jump online right now and people are still selling the iPhone 4S or the iPhone 5, and they're still wanting a good $200. Let's be real. So if you spend $1,000 on the iPhone like we get ready to do on a couple of them, if I want to resell it later, I could definitely get my money's worth because I can hold that phone for a year and still get at least 80% of my money back. Look online right now and tell me which phones are doing that are Android. Basically not iOS. This one is, the OnePlus is, for sure. You can look online and find the OnePlus. It's still really close to the price that, and sometimes even more. I saw the OnePlus, people are selling it mint condition for $400. I'm like, why would a person, look on Swapper. Look on Swapper. You'll find some. Hopefully they're still there. I guess I could pull it up right now, huh? But if you look on Swapper, and you look for the OnePlus, you might see people selling the OnePlus 3 at the price or more than what it costs. And it's like, wow, what are y'all doing? Because they know people want it. And if it's a waiting list, look, Boy, look at this. Good condition, 430. Mint condition, 450. This phone only costs 400 bucks. And Swappa has like a $10 fee, and PayPal takes 10 bucks. But those people are doing that so they can get all their money back, and people are selling. So people are buying. Let me see what the ones that are recently sold for. Look, here we go. Mint condition, 425 sold. 440 mint condition. Here's one, 385 mint condition, 410, 415. They're selling it at the cost, and some of those are not in new condition. They're selling it at the cost of what they paid for, and they're getting all their money back. That's what the iPhone users do. Android phones, not so much. I can probably look on there and find a Galaxy S7 Edge for, how much do you think? $550? Let's see. Let's go with Samsung phones. Just a discussion video, guys. If you didn't hang in there this whole time, peace to you. Thank you for watching a little bit of time that you did. Galaxy S7, 420 bucks plus, at least $420. And that phone just came out. Here they are for 500, but they're still selling for like 700, 800, brand new. But people are 420 good, 440. But this phone costs 800 bucks. So quickly already the value's down. So you start talking about if something's worth something. I hope you guys, this is one of my longest discussion videos, but I hope you guys hung in there and check this video out, because this is to address some things where people say, is it worth it or not? I can't tell you all the time whether something is worth it. In my eyes, I think this phone is worth way more than what they're selling it for. How they're making money on this, I don't know. But I think I'll title this video, Is It Worth It? Yeah. Is it worth it? That just came to me just now. I didn't know what the title of this video was going to be because I don't have any scripts. But I wanted to answer that question. If people say, well, is it worth it? Because right now the topic pretty much is shooting it. People are shooting it at me is, you know, I thought you said that the Note 7 wasn't worth it. How's this phone worth it? And it's spec'd way less. Hey, man. You got to put your own title on what you think is worth something. Again, I think this MacBook Pro was worth that $1,600 that I spent. I think this iPad Pro 9.7 was worth the, I think, $1,200 or whatever I spent on it. Because I'm seeing return and it's not failing me, you know? That's what it is. I think the OnePlus 3 is well worth that $400. The Axon 7 is worth that $400. It is what it is. So that's the title of this video. It just came to me right now. Oh, is it worth it? Comment below, man. Let me know what you think. What do you think is worth something? And I'll see you in the next one. Take care.